Hello and welcome to another edition of Drink to a Decade podcast, where today we celebrate the 20th anniversary of one of the most insane love stories of all time, The Notebook. I am your amazing, spectacular host with the most, Detective Artemis, and for the first time ever, joining me is my wife, Laura, the matriarch. Is that what you want to be called?
Sounds good to me.
Or what about Killer Queen? She's
Let's
the Killer Queen!
Let's just stick to the matriarch.
Okay, all right. You said it, Beyonce. Here we go. So, The Notebook. It has been 20 years. Tell me, what are some of your early memories of the movie?
Honestly, it's when it first started. I'm a huge romantic person, as you know.
Yes, I do.
And so when it first started, I definitely was like, I have to watch this. And it became my introduction to Nicholas Sparks. From there, I watched all his movies and read all his books. So to me, it was just like seeing this magnificent love story come to life. Not to mention, I love Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, how dare you?
There's too many Ryans in the industry. I'm sorry.
Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, Ryan Garcia, who is a total dick.
Exactly. Aren't they all, though? I mean, Ryan Reynolds is funny, but he can push the envelope.
I don't know. Both of these Ryans are Canadians, as this is a Canadian love story because Rachel McAdams is also a Canuck.
Oh, she is. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and this is also a pretty good year for her, too, because in 2004, she also did Mean Girls, which is also having a 20th anniversary. It probably passed already, but, you know, we're just not going to try to make fetch a thing.
I mean, you did like the movie, so we could have clearly done it.
It was a good cast, okay? I love John Hamm. John Hamm for Batman, Bat Ham, I'm going to say it to the day I die, even though he's in his early 50s now. But moving on, how old were you when you first saw The Notebook?
I don't even know. I am trying to remember that. It might have been when it came out, so I would have been, I'm not going to say my age. I might have been
45.
in my teens. I may have been in my teens when I saw it. And as a teenage girl, you know, you see Ryan Gosling, you see him proclaim his love, like it draws you in.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like making those unrealistic expectations for all the future boyfriends to come. I built a house for you. That's cool. I can't do that because I am terrible with my hands. Actually, no. You know for a fact I'm pretty good with my hands.
We don't need to say that right here.
Well, you know, this was one of those movies where I was proud of never watching, never wanting to watch, had no interest in watching until I met you, and I actually found some fun in watching it. I mean, I wasn't a total sap for it, but there were some things I thought were pretty funny. You know, just like with Harry Potter, I was proud of not being a Harry Potter fan, and then you came along and, well, you know, House Slytherin, what up?
It's all about the Hufflepuffs. But I am happy that you watched it with me. I think we had a drinking game the first time we saw it, and I think that's how I enticed you.
Yeah.
Every time Ryan Gosling did something romantic, you had to take a drink.
And every time I saw those washboard abs, I took 4 drinks.
You know you secretly wanted them.
It's no secret.
But I think, yeah, it was in 2016 when you barely saw it, so...
Yeah, and then The Gentleman also did an episode about that. I wonder how that guy's doing. Oh, yeah, he's dead.
I mean, Jason came back. He can come back.
A lot of coming. All right, well, tell me, what are some of your favorite moments in the movie?
So one of my favorite moments is actually the deleted scene where he gives the house to his kids. Because I just think it was wonderful. Like, it's coming full circle. His dad gave him the house. He's giving it to his kids. And he declares Allie his home. He mentions that the house, even though he spent ages constructing it for her, is not a home without her. And his home is wherever she is. So for him to pass on that lineage to his kids and his grandkids, that was my favorite scene of the whole movie.
You know, I wish I had an heirloom like that. Like, here you go, son. Here's a nice, sweet-ass house. You know what my heirloom was? Diabetes.
Again, where's my house? I'm still waiting for you to construct that.
Listen. I'm getting really good with Legos now. I'm getting more and more patient with them. So I need you to be patient because it's going to take another 14 years.
You still haven't written me 365 letters.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Can we delete editor? Or no, sorry, intern. Yes. Can you make a note for the editor to like take this out? Okay.
No, it should stay here.
What are some of your least favorite moments about the movie? Just give me one of them, because I know there's a lot.
Oh, man. Least favorite. Okay. apart from like what you used to think was my favorite scene, that bird scene kind of annoys me because I do think she looks kind of weird with the whole "tell me I'm a bird."
If I'm a bird, you're a bird too.
I mean, yes, it's supposed to be romantic and everything, but I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. And then like she's like, "Said now say you're a bird too," and it's like she was trying to make him something he was. See, growing up is seeing The Notebook is not as romantic as you once thought it was.
You know, there are a lot of bird symbolism in this movie. You see it in the beginning where the birds are flying, and then she mentions birds right there, and then birds at the end of the movie. And I think it's supposed to symbolize that their love is free, and it just kind of, goes with the flow. That's just my unprofessional interpretation. But yes, birds are kind of the motif in this movie.
I never noticed that, but you didn't answer the questions yourself. You're asking me. What was your favorite part?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Well, my favorite part is that carousel scene where he goes super psychopathic manipulator mode and threatens to kill himself to go on a date.
You said carousel. It's Ferris wheel.
Did I say carousel? I don't give a fuck. Okay, yes, it was the Ferris wheel. But yes, so this dude, who he just meets is willing to like end his life to go on a date with this girl. And he's hanging with one hand and a couple of fingers on the Ferris wheel. And he's like, will you go out with me? She's like, oh my God, no. And then he's like, will you go out with me? Oh, okay. Now, this movie, it sort of perceives that like the target audience was, people who would think that they would be, they would find that like really romantic, but it's only romantic because it's Ryan Gosling. If it was some fucking fat torta guy up, he probably wouldn't be able to hang up there. But if it was some like unattractive guy, guaranteed creepy harassment. Where's the cops?
It's like the Twilight effect. I don't know if you notice, like Edward sneaks into Bella's room, watches her sleep, but it's sweet because it's Robert Pattinson. So
right, and if I do that to you, it's a restraining order.
I mean, if you do that to me, I'll think Paranormal Activity, and I was totally like freak out.
Fun fact, I do that anyway.
Now that I know, there's a crucifix.
So anyway, he tends to sort of use these manipulation tactics, like when he's what is it again? Like where they're on the street and he's in the lights. He's like, "Oh, come on, do it." Or he kind of guilts her into like laying down with them. What does he say? Do you remember?
I don't remember what he said, but I think he's just like, when are you going to finally do something for yourself?
Yeah.
Because she was talking about how her parents planned out her whole future. And he's like, come on, like, take a chance for once.
He was very, very persistent on the borderline psychopathic stalker. But it's cute because it's Ryan Gosling.
He chased her down in the street and he was like, I'll be anything you want me to be. Like, this guy had no personality whatsoever.
Now, is he a simp or is he a psychopath? There's a fine line in between.
I can't even detect, because I mean, you think it's sweet, you think it's really sweet, but the fact that he had his friends trick her into going on a date with her, even though she kept saying no, but then she was a tease, because then she does go, because he said, when am I going to see you again, or when are we going to go on the date? And she's like, I'm sure you'll think of something. So she's kind of like asking for it.
I agree. Allie is definitely the villain in this. Ask me what's my least favorite scene.
What's your least favorite scene?
Where she bangs Ryan Gosling after she's been engaged with poor Lon James Marsden himself. Come on, Cyclops.
I mean, he's used to it, Wolverine, Jean Grey.
He's always getting the short end of the stick. Well, that was my least favorite moment for sure. And then everything. Oh, I liked Finn. I know you didn't like Finn, but I liked him because he could have. I mean, he died in the war, but like you said, he could have like helped the relationship continue, but he was against it. So he was like, just get over it. It's over. Yeah. He was trying to save him.
There was a deleted scene. I watched all of them, but there was a deleted scene where Finn tells him, like, she bleeds blue. Look at your hands. There's dirt in them that will never leave. Like, she's just in a different world, and maybe it's for the best that it ended. And Noah's like, no, I should have stopped. I should have said something, like beating himself up for not giving her the comfort she needed. And his friend's like, no, it's meant to be over. Like, he did not support the relationship. To him, it was like, it's a summer fling. That's what it should stay, without noticing like the love that his friend, or the obsession his friend had for this chick.
You mentioned deleted scenes, and there were like what 12 of them or something. There was a lot of deleted scenes, and this movie was already 2 hours, so it probably could have been like anywhere from like 2:15 to 2:20. Now, do you think some of those scenes were important and that they should have stayed in, or were they just kind of like, oh, kind of pointless?
No, there's some that are important. Like there's a scene where Ali is asking her mom if there's any letters from Noah, and she says no, and like she blatantly sees how broken her daughter is. And I think the mom's the real villain.
The mom was the biggest hater.
Oh my god, the mom, just because she couldn't have the guy she wanted, she had to stop her daughter from doing it.
Stupid bitch.
So I do think that, and then the deleted scene, I see why they took it out though, because it makes you question the movie. So there's a deleted scene where they are in the nursing home, and they tell Noah like, "Hey, there's another couple who was childhood sweethearts, and she married somebody else, and now that the husband has died and they put her in the nursing home, he's here courting her." And Noah's like, "I'm not courting Allie." So it implies that they didn't get married, but so it confuses you. So I see why they deleted it.
Yeah, that would have been a total clusterfuck because he's like, I'm not trying to court her. I'm reading her a damn story from The Notebook.
Yeah, which she wrote about their love story, but it makes you question like, where did she choose Noah? Because it's never like confirmed. Yes, the kids call him daddy, but I mean, it with that scene, it makes you question everything.
Yeah, like you're right, because the kids, they say dad and then they say mom, so obviously they've had kids and they were together. But that deleted scene does sort of throw a grenade into the world of logic and continuity. So that I do agree that they took out. But I also saw that they showed things like where he first found her with showing the stage of early Alzheimer's, where she was in a car and she didn't know how to get home. So that was a pretty cool scene that they took out. Also, the one let's see.
The one with his dad, where his dad actually it gives you like where his mom is, because the dad's talking about having a conversation.
They talk about Ryan Gosling's mom and what happened to her. So yeah, there was a lot of information that probably could have made the story feel a little bit more. It's a little more meat on that bone, I always say.
Yeah, because I love Noah's dad.
Frank the Tank.
Oh, I loved him. I thought he was a great character. So those deleted scenes, there's one where like his dad is even talking to him about the breakup. And then his dad tells him like, this woman should not be so big in your life. Like you can't finish a home to call her back to you. And Noah kind of asks him like, hey dad, are you feeling okay? So it kind of hints at his dad passing away. So that would have been a great little scene to have, because it makes you see their relationship, which I wish we had seen more of.
Yeah, the dad was super cool and probably the coolest character in the movie, aside from Finn, obviously, who was there.
Finn was not cool.
He was trying to support his bro.
He told him that he shouldn't love this girl just because he couldn't keep his girl, because I didn't see them together after a while.
He went to the war, ma'am, serving our country. You're welcome.
Now, even before that, him and the girl did not stay together. Her best friend.
You know what? I don't even care, because Frank was the coolest. You know what? Whose dad sucked? Allie's dad, fucking Joseph Stalin looking motherfucker with that sweet handlebar mustache.
But his accent was so bad.
When Allie's mom was trashing fucking Noah for being trash and poor, the dad got uncomfortable. He's like, why don't we just change the subject about talking about poor people and let's just, move on from it.
Yeah, because, well, he probably knew what was going on with his wife, so parallels right there.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's a possibility. They never really
Well, no, because she does say that she ran away with him. She ran away with the guy she was in love with, but the police caught with them on the next town, so then her parents married her off to Allie's dad.
Oh, okay, yeah, so then he 100% knew.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't go out and fucking kill that dude.
I mean, he's rich. He can't get himself.
Would anybody miss that? Like, was he a coal miner or a
lumberjack?
Lumberjack.
Yeah, who would get the wood?
Ooh. That was good. Good wood. Noah was good with wood, as you see.
But apart from that, is there any other part you hated? Because one thing I love that I do have to mention is they did not make Lon the villain. They made him such a lovable character. Like you knew he was the perfect match for her.
Right. And even when she's like, I used to paint, he's like, oh, okay, then start painting. Yeah, but you're not Noah, so I'm gonna go fuck him now. And he's calling the hotel and he's like, Where my baby be?
Yeah, like even though he knew where she was, he was still like, "Are we still gonna get married?" Like he was willing to overlook that.
He was like, I knew you fucked this guy, and it doesn't get me to you, and you are my ultimate prize, so I'm willing to just let it go, turn a cheek, and we can still get married. And she's like, oh, okay. And then they cut, and then she fucking goes to Noah's house with her bags and stuff, heavily implying that she chose Noah
Yeah,
and his ark.
I mean, and that's what makes it beautiful though, because it makes you see that even though this guy was everything her parents wanted, it's everything they could have asked for her, it wasn't Noah. That even though years had passed, she wanted Noah. It wasn't about being perfect, it was about being with the person you love.
Are you saying that she wouldn't take Noah for an answer?
Editor, intern, can we cut that out?
I yell at the intern, not you,
Can
lady.
we cut that out? Lady.
My lady?
Oh, yes, that makes it sweeter. Thanks.
Thank you. I was dipped in a vat of sugar as a kid. I am diabetically sweet.
Where is that? I've never seen that.
So, anywho, what are some other moments that are like pretty memorable in the movie? It doesn't have to be our favorite or least favorite, but I think where she first meets Lon in the infirmary, where she's like, oh, she wanted to be a nurse because all these like wounded men she saw, she envisioned it being Noah. So it's like she was still missing him, and then she found new Noah.
I mean, you did make a comment in that where he was waiting for her outside her like school.
Outside of her class with
Yeah.
a sweet ride.
And
I
you're
would have
like,
said
what?
yeah.
You're like, what is it with all these guys being creepy and stalkers?
It's only creepy in the modern world, but in the movie it is sweet, persistent, and very, very Pepe Le Pew, almost borderline kind of scary.
I mean, you got to think about it. It was back in the 1940s
40s.
around that time. How did he get her information? There was no Google for him to Google her. So how did he find out where she was?
Redneck Facebook. Obviously.
Oh, of course. You have all the answers.
Yeah, Burrs. What are some other moments that are pretty important in the movie
I
to
don't
you?
know. One of my, it's not even important, but I just found it really funny was when they're in the lake and he's like, get in the water.
Get in the fucking water.
And he's like, I'm sorry. Get in the water, baby. And then he's like, get in the water. That is like one of my top favorite scenes of the whole thing. Because it shows like how they work together. Like they fought, but they always seem to make up.
Yeah, it also showed that he was also trying to get her out of her shell and like, have her pursue the things that she truly desires and things that she wants to do. He made that very clear from the beginning, and you see it right there as well. But yeah, they were a little volatile and a little toxic too at the same time. They were always fighting, then they were fucking. Maybe that's secret, fighting and fucking.
Want to try it out?
All right, I got my boxing gloves.
I don't have mine.
Too bad.
But anyways, yeah, because like, I mean, there's a part where she's like hitting him and everything.
And he's
like,
slapping himself too. I don't know. Maybe it spices it up. So next time I'm just gonna slap the shit out of myself multiple times, and I'll probably just finish right there on the floor.
But anyways, the best part I think is the meme that we always get. Like, what do you want?
It's not that simple. What do you want?
Seriously, it's like picking a place to eat.
Now, what about the moments where she and her mom at one point say, "I'm just a stupid woman"?
That was horrible.
Where
That
where she goes to the house, she's like, "I'm just a stupid woman. I never should have come here." And then she crashes into the fence he just built.
I know. He's built this house for her. He constructs it. The fence is right there, and she crashes right into it. And I know what you're gonna say, so I'm not even gonna mention it. But that is, and then when the mom goes to see her ex-love, and she's like, "I'm just a stupid woman
Yeah,
for going to see him." Like,
she was like coming to terms with her feelings, her actual deep emotions, and then she had to like shake herself out of like, I'm just a stupid woman. Why would I want this geek with love? I got money, and I agree. I want money too.
so would you trade me in for money?
Well, everyone's got a price.
$1 million.
Billion.
Oh, at least I'm worth a lot.
There you go.
But yes, that part had me cracking up because I think they said it multiple times. There was a deleted scene where she's like getting herself ready to go see Noah, and she's like, stupid, this is so stupid. I'm so stupid for doing this. And all she says is like how stupid she is. And she knows it's a bad idea. She still does it. And then she just goes to crash his fence.
That was pretty funny. But I think how she keeps calling herself, like a stupid woman or whatever, that's not her talking. I feel like that's her mom talking. And sometimes our parents would just sort of, put these ideas in our head. So when we actually feel something, we're like, oh, wait, no, I can hear my mom's voice saying that I'm being stupid and I should not do that. And I think that's probably where she got it from, because the mom says it too. So it's like she hears her mom's voice in her head whenever she calls herself stupid.
All right, you're getting a little bit too deep. I'm gonna need you to drink some of that and shove it down.
Okay, well, I'll shove it down anywhere you want. I'm also a unlicensed parapsychologist.
No, you're not.
You are a ghost. I'm talking to a ghost right now.
What happened to me?
Oh.
So I do agree with you on that, because Allie ended up with Noah not in her life. She ended up doing exactly what her parents wanted her to do. She followed the path that they clearly lined up for her.
Right.
And she ended up being everything that they wanted her to be. She went to Sarah Lawrence. She studied. She married the guy that they liked. Well, not married. She got engaged to the man that they liked.
Yeah.
Like, she followed their line without her having a say into it. And like, you kind of see it where Noah has the room for her to paint, and how it impacts her. How she's like, wow, he still remembers her passion, what she does for herself. And so I agree with you that she hears her mom in her head. But she had to see the guy she loved. I mean, she saw him in the newspaper, and you saw how it affected her. She fainted.
She fainted. She
with
like
her
creamed
eyes
her
open.
pants.
With her eyes open. It was a very weird fate.
It was pretty faint, yes. And I feel like, obviously one of the main messages of the movie is to follow your heart. And at the end, she learns that, hey, I'm just gonna follow my heart. I'm sorry, I screwed around with this guy and I listened to my parents, but it's about what I want. And it was that simple. It was just, her parents kind of clutching on to these chains that were binding her.
I agree. But we haven't touched on the ending. What did you think of the ending of them dying in each other's arms?
Hilarious. What were the odds of them dying together? It was a little cheesy. But I think what was a little more emotionally impactful for me is where we first see old Allie remember who she was and who Noah was, and for that few minutes, everything is back normal. He's good. And then she forgets, and then they come in and restrain her, and you can see Noah's face crying. I think that was really, really impactful and fucked up and really sad too, because Alzheimer's, I'm sure it's, devastating for family members, just to sort of be a stranger to a person you've known for years and they don't know who you are. So that's pretty sad. But you know what I do with these deep emotions? I put some humor on them, because one of the cool things about Alzheimer's is you get to meet new people every day.
It's like when she would meet her children, they had to pretend they didn't know her, and they'd be like, nice to meet you. And the little kid goes up to hug her.
Shut up. Okay, that was kind of sad. It's poor grandkids.
Yeah, and they're like, and she's like, oh. And she like kind of likes to hug, but then she feels awkward because she's like, I guess I'll leave you guys now. I'll leave. And it's sad. It's sad because they have to introduce themselves. And you do. Noah, there's a deleted scene again where Noah's talking to the doctor, and he's like, it used to be every few weeks she would know me, and now the last time she knew me was 3 months ago.
Yeah, and you can and you see that the degeneration is like becoming more and more apparent, and that was pretty messed up. But speaking of her kids, what was up with that son with the glasses who didn't have any southern accent? It was pretty much not there, but the other ones, they had, like you said, a large southern accent, a medium, and then they was just not there at all.
Yeah, I really want to know. They grew up.
That was Lon's kid.
I'm guessing they grew up almost in the same place, you would think. But one of them was like straight up Southern. Daddy, don't stay here. Like,
it's the Bible, my daddy who did die.
Like straight up Southern. The other two were like barely there, and the son clearly did not have any. So I have no idea what happened there.
Been funny if it was like a British accent. Dad, I promise we'll take shifts looking after her.
No, I really want to know what happened. And then they all looked very different. One of them had dark hair. One of them had like dark red hair, and the other one had blonde hair. So I'm just like, what?
I don't know, but you know who's the character we forgot to mention? Martha Shaw, the one who Noah was banging to help fill those loneliness voids while Allie was doing her thing. He was banging Martha, and Martha's like, "So what are we?" And he's like, "Yeah, about that." And then after like he bangs Allie after the reunion, guess who comes to stay for dinner with them? Martha Shaw, and the most awkward Eskimo sister dinner.
But you know what? That was Allie's fault. Allie was all friendly, like, "Why don't you join us?" And Noah's like, "Fuck." You could see in his face. He's like, "Why did you do that?"
Right? It wasn't there a deleted scene too where like she asks about who Martha Shaw is or whatever, right?
Yeah, and he's just like, "She ain't nobody important," or he says something.
She ain't nobody.
But that was like the weird, and she stayed for a while because she got there midday, and then it's like nighttime when she left.
You know what happened. My boy Noah rode the tricycle up top.
No.
All right, here we go. I just thought this new segment we're gonna do right now. It's a fun game. I'm gonna call it Smash or Pass. Is where I say someone and you say smash as in to have sex with them, or pass as in not to have sex with them. I totally made this up right now.
Do you really want to be doing that with your wife?
Yuppers. All right, here we go. Ready? Here we go.
You do know what this is gonna cause if you say smash to any of them, right?
So here we go. For you first. Smash or pass? Allie.
I'm sorry. Rachel McAdams to me is beautiful. I'm about to say smash.
What up? All right, here we go. Smash or pass? I promise my feelings won't get hurt. Noah.
I hate to say this because Noah would be any girl's dream, but he was just a little bit too emotional for me.
Ah, okay.
A little bit too soft.
Right.
Pass.
Oh shit. Okay, well that was a hard smash for me. All right. Lon, smash or pass?
I'm sorry, babe. I love you. Smash.
What up? I agree.
What about you?
Yeah, hell yeah. Those high-end cheekbones, man. How can you say no to that? Well, obviously Allie did.
I mean, we don't know if she didn't smash.
All right, here we go. Smash or pass? Martha Shaw.
Pass. You?
Smash or pass? Finn.
No. Martha Shaw. Would you smash or pass?
No, isn't she the one who like made all those puppets and took out your tongue?
That was Mary Shaw.
Oh, whatever. I don't
Her
give a
sister.
fuck. Your sister. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want any relation to that. Smash or pass? Finn.
Pass.
Oh, he's so cute and adorable. I
He's
don't want to
probably
carry on my
my-
shoulders.
He's probably my size.
Yeah, but he's just so adorable. He was in that one show that we never finished. Was it Friends of Benefits or Friends?
Friends with better lives.
Whatever. Well, I'll tell you what. His friend did have a better life because one of them died in the war.
Okay, so would you smash or pass?
Finn?
Yeah.
Maybe hang out, go for a couple of beers. I mean, he seems pretty fun. So I'm going to say pass, but bro smash. Does that make sense?
I guess. Wait, Noah, would you smash or pass?
Maybe old Noah with that scruffy beard. Because not young Noah. Because without that beard, you can see Ryan Gosling's fucking banana chin. It's going to be a no for me. Young Noah, no. Old Noah, yuppers.
How about Allie?
Do I want to fight later? I'm going to say pass.
All right. Who's another one? The mom.
Hell no. She was the biggest hater on the planet.
How about the dad?
Allie's that John?
Yeah. That mustache.
That handlebar mustache show. I'm going to say pass. Well, hang on. He did have a shit ton of money. Instant smash for me. Everyone's got a price.
How about the dad? How about
Frank?
Noah's dad?
He's poor as shit. No, thank you. His son making a pathetic 40 cents an hour.
Okay, that would be $8.78 right now. Okay,
Ugh, I don't speak poor. He probably goes to Walmart.
just because you go to Target.
Target.
Oh, I'm sorry, Target.
All right. Well, since this movie doesn't have any sequels, I guess we can skip that because we already went over some of the deleted scenes, which there were a lot of. But some minor trivia here. I'm pretty sure people know this already, that Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams did not get along together on set. And it got so bad to the point where the director, Nick Casa something, puts them in a room and he has them like air out their grievances like children. And it works because after that, for a while, they were banging in real life.
Exactly. I was gonna say, didn't they date?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I heard about that, and you can kind of, I guess, this chemistry can be like seen, but I don't know.
I don't know. For me, the chemistry was kind of on and off. Like some scenes it worked, some scenes it didn't. I think it was that one deleted scene where I can kind of see why it was where at that luncheon where her the mom tells Ryan Gosling that she's going to Sarah Lawrence, and then she goes to the bathroom. She's like, "Oh my god, I am so sorry, my mom." Blah blah blah. I don't know that it just wasn't clicking on that scene, and that's what scene sort of like sticks out for me in terms of the chemistry not working.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from. I have heard of that. You know what? Funny enough, I love this movie. Before I met you, I would watch this movie religiously. Like it was like once a month I would watch it. I never looked up trivia for it.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot that I saw, but that was pretty much like the main one. Another one I saw too is that in the beginning, you see Ali wearing red and Ryan Gosling wearing like I don't know if it's like a blue or like a dark gray or something, but it's the same colors they're wearing when we first see their old versions pop up on screen. So when they go to the flashback, they're wearing those same colors as well.
I never noticed that. You know what? I forgot about that. I think I forgot that one of my favorite things of the movie is when you realize, because okay, it may have been because I was young. I'm gonna say it's because of that. I did not piece together who they were, who the old people were, until it was like said where it was like that's your mom, like I love her, until they show you that the older version is Noah and Ali. I did not piece it together that it was them. So that I love to see that. And I wish they had included where she writes the notebook and she tells him like, I am having Alzheimer's. When I leave you, read this to me, and if it's humanly possible, I will return to you.
Right. And it's cool because in the like the theatrical cut, that's only mentioned in exposition where Noah says it to the nurse or the doctor. But in one of the deleted scenes, they actually show the part where she writes it and she tells him explicitly to say, "Hey, when I'm losing my mind, you read this story to me, and if it's humanly possible, I will come back to you like a geriatric boomerang."
You know what? It's so sad because he does say that reading the notebook to her becomes a kind of like a science of itself, because if she realizes who they are before the big reveal, she kind of panics and she gets scared, and it causes her to kind of, so it's like he has to pinpoint the right time for her to realize who they are. That's why he created the dinner, because I guess he could kind of figure out that she was coming back to him.
Right. And I guess like you said too, where she was starting to feel something, she maybe subconsciously kind of went back to it because she's like, oh my God. Like she wasn't following her heart, I guess.
Yeah. Or you think she always just felt guilty for all the choices? Because she was like, she did commit some really dumb choices. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was doing some very questionable stuff. Not exactly a rootable kind of character. If anything, I rooted for Lon. Lon was my hero.
Lon deserves somebody to love him for him and not for his money or his status.
Can you imagine if Lon and Martha Shaw met each other? That'd be that perfect couple right there.
They would just get together and be like, they left us. They would get together because of that.
But it would work. It would click.
You know what? I'm still gonna bring this up. Whatever happened to Allie's best friend? She was just there to bring them together.
Do we know her name?
No,
just Allie's friend.
She's just there.
Finn's girl.
Like you see her randomly in the scenes of Noah and them together, but you never know what happened to her. Like she just disappears.
Some friendships, it's okay for them to die.
So you're saying she died?
To me, she did. I'm pretty sure she left my boy Finn because he was just too poor for her in the end.
I mean, she was from the town, so I don't think so. I think Finn left her. Finn just wanted a fling.
See, a man with some perspective. I respect that.
You're married.
So are there any other scenes that we are sort of missing out, like highlight scenes? Because I feel like we talked about most of it, some of the more important stuff.
I mean, besides the really awkward scene when they're trying to sleep together, I think we pinpoint everything.
Oh, speaking of sleeping together, there was one funny thing that I forgot to mention too. So when they first try to have sex in that decrepit ass house, which is a total turn on, I assume, he kind of goes in for a second, but then she keeps talking and talking. It just sort of kills the mood. And then Finn walks in and is like, hey, the cops are after you. Okay, whatever. fast forward to the reunion 7 years later, where he fucking bangs the crap out of her and he takes her virginity from her while she was engaged to Lon. So he took that away before Lon could even get inside. Fucked up.
I
But
mean, it
I
was his.
respect the game.
It was his. She wanted to give it to him. I mean, but it did crack me up when I guess she's all like, "Is this what I've been missing the whole time?"
She's like, can we go again? He's like, hang on, dude. Give me like 10 minutes and some orange juice.
I know, he's all like, "I need food." But granted, she had been missing that this whole time. She did not know what sex was before.
She was
that.
like, golly, may I have another? Oliver Twist over here.
And poor Noah was just like, I just want to rest.
Like, Jesus Christ, lady.
It reminded me of us.
Oh, hang on. That lasted 4 seconds?
No.
Oh, because that wasn't true.
Sure it wasn't. I'll give you 5.
Thank you. Now, do you think this movie has aged well?
Yes and no.
Yes and Noah?
Because it's still a wonderful love story. I still think that everything looks beautiful. But it depends on what mindset you are. I think, like I said, when I was younger, I loved Noah's dedication, devotion. I loved how he did all this for Allie. Growing up and maturing, and now that we're married with like a kid, I look back and I'm like, this guy was a total simp for her, or psycho, like you said. Like, he devoted his whole life to just get Allie back, and it's like, that's really unhealthy. So, like, to me, I think, especially now that mental health has become such a big thing, I don't think it would hold up well because everybody would just tear him apart.
Yeah, it was. I agree. Like, I think at the time, the common perception was, oh, how sweet he is for fucking building a house for her. A lot of people were able to overlook the, simp or psycho or sociopathic tendencies that Noah was sort of portraying, the manipulation and stuff. I think it's aged all right, but there are some things, I guess, with the modern lens that can sort of be dissected into a more of a mental demonstration of how not to be. I mean, would you hang off a Ferris wheel with one hand for me?
If you were in a Ferris wheel with another woman, I would hold on.
And you just met me for like 2 minutes prior.
Okay, not married. All right. Bring down the psycho.
Yes.
No, I would not. I would not. I'd wait for you at the bottom maybe to ask for your number, but I would not hang off that Ferris wheel. I'm scared of heights.
Right. So I guess people can be like, okay, he was very, very, very crazy, but also he was very dedicated and loyal. So I guess however you want to see the cup, whether it be half full or half empty, for me, it's a little much. I mean, I guess it makes him feel more of like one of a kind of thing, but it just feels a little too, I won't say unrealistic because it's a movie and movies are supposed to give you that sort of like feel of fantasy. I don't know. I'm on the fence, but you know what? It was hilarious to see him do all that weird shit just to fucking smash.
Can I just say that the fact that they did not have restraints on that Ferris wheel had me really anxious.
The 40s did not give a shit about safety restraints. You fell. Fuck it.
That's why the guy, instead of stopping the Ferris wheel at the bottom,
he stopped at the very top. He wanted Noah dead. I'm sure Noah owed him money because he was like, I'll pay you later when I get down. And he was like, oh, you already owe me money, bitch. You fall. Oh, then
and how did he get down? How did he get down with his pants?
How did he get down with his fucking dong hanging out through the little long johns he was wearing? I don't know. Must have been very awkward for him. It just cuts to the next scene.
It does. But yeah, I would have to say, it depends on how much of a romantic lens you want to see it through. But yeah, a lot of people still love it and still say it's one of the truest love stories there. So
it's a very pure love for sure, but it's also,
I just gotta say, Nicholas Sparks always makes his women very questionable and very bad.
Yeah, what's the other movie with the one Miley Cyrus and the Hemsworth kid?
The last song. That's still a beautiful movie.
Yeah, and then there's the one where with Clint Eastwood's son where he's a cowboy or a
The Longest Ride.
Okay, and then there's what's the one with Channing Tatum where he
Dear John.
Thank you. No, not John Deere.
No, Dear John, where with Amanda.
Seyfried, Mamma
Yes,
Mia.
where he's in the army and she's studying to become a special education teacher. That's a beautiful one too, but it's also a sad ending. So,
And these are all Nicholas Sparks stuff.
yes.
And is the woman portrayed as a person who does mean things to the guy?
Okay, and one of them, she marries another guy while he's off in the army. She writes him a Dear John letter. That's where the title comes from. And she marries another guy. She does it for a noble reason. He has cancer and
He was rich.
no, and she marries him to adopt his son in case anything happens because his son had autism. So she gets married for her to adopt a son in case anything happens to him. So I mean, it's for a noble cause, but she still broke up with John because she got mad. It happened during 9/11, so he re-enlisted and she
Right.
got mad at him for that, so they ended up breaking up because she's like, I did not sign up to stay away from you this long, and then she ends up marrying the other guy.
Well, joke's on her because when that movie happened, he went up and became Magic Mike.
he left the army and did that.
You know, I don't know if you know this about me. You probably don't because I'm kind of a closed book. Magic Mike is actually about me. I was Magic Mike.
So when are you gonna dance for me?
How much money you got?
I'm your wife. I get it for free.
All right, well, that's going to conclude our episode of the 20th anniversary of The Notebook. Once again, I am your friendly neighborhood spectacular host with the, you know what, maybe Journey is right. It is kind of a long title. Detective Artemis, and I am joined by my lovely, very scary sometimes wife, Laura. What's your name? The mate, like your
I have none. It'll just be Laura or the wife.
or Hufflepuff.
Well, that's just for me.
Honey Badger. You're gonna be called Honey Badger.
Okay, I'll be called Honey Badger.
All
Well,
right.
thank you for having me, and talk to you later.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Once again, make sure you please hit a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and cheers to Notebook for 20 years of unexpected, what's the word?
Unattainable.
Unrealistic expectations for all men for generations to come. Cheers.